Today on the Lowdown, a Down syndrome podcast, Jason Konowalchuk and Aja Masters gives us the lowdown on finding a job as a person with Down syndrome. Over to you, Hannah Marla.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LowDOWN podcast. My name is Hina Mahmood, OT at the DSRF, and I am joined by my fabulous co-host and colleague, Marla Folden, an SLP at the Down Syndrome Resource Foundation. Hello, Marla.
Hey, Hannah, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for today.
Me too. So today, we have an exciting topic for you, that many families view this equal parts hope and concern. We are talking about starting employment and how that process can get going. It is our hope that today's episode leaves you feeling capable with some steps that you yourselves can take to get your loved one with Down syndrome off to that great start in terms of employment. So our first guest today is Aja Masters. Aja has been an instructor at the Down Syndrome Resource Foundation since 2015. She completed the Employment Support Specialty Certificate Program at Douglas College, and she believes in inclusive employment for all and is excited to offer one-to-one employment services for individuals looking for meaningful work. This is a very exciting new program that she started at the DSRF. And also she assists in the DSRF's Reading and Communication Plus program and the Money Math and Budgeting programs as well. She's also helping in teaching a new program that we've started called GROW, which stands for Gaining Relationships and Occupational Wins, with our colleague Andrea Lee, who has been a guest on the podcast before. If that wasn't enough, Aja is also super busy in helping run a couple of other programs, Friday Reads and Pop Goes the World. Pop Goes the World is a really fun program where they talk about pop culture. So really, really cool. Our second guest today is Jason Konowalchuk. Jason is employed at Meridian Farm Market in Tsawwassen, which is a small town here in BC, where he's been working in the meat department for over 2.5 years. Jason does something different each workday, but usual tasks include making kebabs, packaging frozen meat and bones, and stocking the display cabinet. He loves all sports activities involving friends, kayaking, hiking, music, dancing, trying new things, and meeting new people of all ages. Welcome to the Lowdown, Aja and Jason.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's wonderful to have you here today. We can't wait to talk about getting a job, being employed. Yeah. It's going to be excellent.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Awesome.
Yep.
Are you excited, Jason?
Yeah, very excited.
Fantastic. Great. Okay. So if you guys have listened to our podcast before, we always like to start off with asking some fun little icebreaker questions.
Okay.
Does that sound good, Jason?
Yes.
You're cool? All right. Jason, I'll start off with you first. Okay. What accessory do you think is really important to have for summertime? Like sunglasses, shorts, like what is your favorite summertime accessory?
My favorite summer is some ice cream and lay back and we want to go to the beach and have a great time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you're about the summer activities.
Yes, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Aja, what about a favorite summer accessory for you? What's your go-to?
Go-to accessory has got to be my sunglasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Gotta have
I
a
go
good
with
pair
every
of shades.
outfit and keep your eyes protected, you know?
Yeah. Great. Okay. Question number 2. Aja, let's start off with you first. What are you currently listening to? So audiobook, music, you pick.
Music. I've been really into Ray LaMontagne lately.
Ooh,
and
yes.
we just moved and I've got now a record collection. So going through some records, some classics, been listening to Elton John and Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, on
So-
record.
On record, yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Something about record.
Proper vinyl, yeah.
Great. Jason, what kind of music are you into these days?
And I like to listen to like very old music and kind of like laid back like 50s, 60s, or 70s.
Wow.
And a big one is Elvis Presley, the King of Rock.
Yeah.
The King of Rock.
Have you seen the new Elvis movie, Jason?
Not yet. I'm going to soon.
Great.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah.
Me too. Fantastic. All right, Marla's going to take over for the
All
next
right,
week.
I'll take over the next question, crafted especially for Aja and Jason. Is there a vegetable that you think is gross?
I'll start, Jay. Vegetable I think is gross and can't stand, won't eat, are peas.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Everyone
I pick them out of my fried rice. I don't think they have a place anywhere.
Oh no.
What about you, Jason? Is there a vegetable that you think is gross?
Mostly nothing. I like eating all vegetables.
Oh,
Model citizen. Model citizen. Okay, question number 4. What do you do to relax after a really long day? Jason, do you want to start?
Yeah, sometimes I wear my pajamas while I finish at work, or sometimes I give myself some food, like after the marine for market.
mhm.
Yep.
And sometimes I get sausage rolls,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I share some with my family, like pepperoni sticks.
Nice. So you buy some extra things at the end of your shift, take
Yeah.
those home with you?
Yeah, and sometimes I buy coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day?
Yeah,
Oh my
at
gosh,
the end
you're
of the day.
brave. Whew, I'd be up all night.
Yeah.
Asia, what do you do to de-stress at the end of the day?
Often listen to some music. And in the past year or so, or I guess 2 years after COVID, I've started like cooking more.
Oh.
So I find that time I like put earbuds in at home and just kind of like unwind and cook something.
Yummy.
Love it.
And if it's nice, like go for a walk or go sit in the park.
Mhm.
Sunshine.
All right, last question. What's your favorite place to go for a long weekend?
A long weekend is what I've never been there before. I want to go to Mexico.
Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah,
On a short
or
trip?
Fiji.
Or Fiji. I mean, I
Yeah.
would take it. Yeah, totally. That would be nice. So you're like a beach guy.
Yeah, I can a beach guy, or with my rent like a house up to seaside.
Oh, up in Seychelles?
Yeah, and I got a private beach and dock.
Perfect.
Let's see, my mom's dad, he used to before he sell his place.
Oh, he used to have a cabin
Ah.
or something.
Yeah,
That's really nice. That's a local getaway. That's
yeah,
totally possible. Yeah.
yes, go to
Yeah.
the most.
Excellent.
Mhm.
And what about you, Asia? Where do you like to go for a long weekend?
One of my best friends has a cabin at Shuswap Lake.
Mhm.
So if I had the opportunity, I'd love to go up there. They also have a dock right on the beach, which would be cool,
Mhm.
or maybe Salt Spring Island.
Oh yeah.
Or, yeah.
For all
Got a
your
friend with a
cheese
cabin.
needs.
For
Yeah.
all your cheese and soap needs. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
More the cheese.
More the cheese. Yeah.
All right, let's dive into employment here. I'm going to start. We're going to have some questions for Asia. So, Asia, how did you get started working in employment support?
Well, when I started working at DSRF now almost 7 years ago, and I was hired as the teaching assistant for our adult programs. I had the opportunity to work with our amazing young adults who were really smart and hardworking and who were really hopeful to enter the workforce. And I would see these kids come through our programs and graduate and then nothing.
Mhm.
Maybe not even a volunteer position. They were having
Mhm.
problems finding work. If they had work, it was like, 1 3-hour shift a week. So I found that there was a really big gap between our guys graduating and then entering the workforce and that next step. So
Mhm.
I decided that I would go back to school and kind of figure that out a little bit, go learn more about employment support, and then get something like that started here.
Mm-hmm. And it is a huge gap. So typically what happens is that people will finish with high school and they might do an extra year of high school. Then they come and do a different kind of program, like a transitional type program, which is what we offer here for young adults, where you maybe brush up on some extra reading and math skills, get really ready to enter the workforce and gain that maturity. And then the next step is the missing piece, or has been in the past, of like, how do you actually get, the job interview, the job, the hours that are enough to, consider real employment. So who do you support now? How does that work? How many people do you have sort of with you?
Yeah, currently I've got like one, I suppose, like active client who I'm helping or working on finding a job with. I had my first hire earlier this year. So that was really cool. But he was somebody who had previously had employment and just needed some brushing up and, a little bit of transition into the new
sector.
job. Yeah. And then I've got 2 students lined up for the fall who are students who have done our programs, who have graduated, and now who are going to be looking for employment.
And so what kind of things do you do with them? Do you go and like hand out your resume, or what does it look like when you're working with somebody?
Yeah, so it would depend on the client, but typically if they've been out of our programs for a while, then they come and we'll do some one-on-one work together, talking about, how to set boundaries at work with bosses and managers and work expectations, and how to ask for help at work and clarification and kind of all those, basic starting, employment tips. And then we can build a resume if they don't have one. Interview prep if that's something that they're interested in. And then I can also, and have gone to interviews with the clients. So to support them while they're there, and to have the, be a bridge between the employer and the client. So
do you support them once they, like, when does your support stop? Like, if they need help while they're at work, do you still go in time to time to check in on them?
Yeah. So once employment has been secured, what we've been doing is I'll go in and do their first few shifts with them. So be there at their first few shifts, implement if they need visuals, or if they need other accommodations made at work to support them, like, so they're successful there. Also ensuring that the employer feels supported. So once the client feels good at work by themselves, then it would just become like a check-in. Start with a weekly check-in, then a monthly, and then eventually, every 3 months, or if the employer needs to contact me, I would be able to provide support there, but eventually phasing me out so that the individual can be
on their own,
successful on their own.
Fantastic. What can families do in the years, leading up to employment that would help set the foundation for success? So I'm kind of thinking like mid to late high school years, or even for some of them that have been out of high school and may want to start a job in about a year. So like, what are some of the things that families can work on or focus on with them?
I would say one of the things to start with, even when they're almost a bit younger, is asking them what they want to do when they grow up. I feel like that's often a gap missed for our population. Their siblings are always asked that. What do you want to do after high school? What's your plan? Where do you want to go to school? What do you want to be? And it doesn't seem to be as prevalent with our guys talking about it until they're 18, graduating, and it's like, oh my gosh, we need to get you a job.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do. So talking about all the different jobs, and then also talking about jobs where like you think your child would be really good. Like, I think you'd make a really good cashier or a barista at a coffee shop because you're so friendly and enthusiastic. So kind of, setting the groundwork for them to know their strengths and where they would maybe be really successful, I think is a good place to start.
Yeah. And also the expectation that you are going to work.
Totally.
Right. And like something for the young person to also be thinking about, like out in the community, would I want to do that when I see this person being a barista? Like, can I picture myself doing that?
Yeah.
Totally.
I think those are important preambles too. Totally.
And I love that you said at the top of the question was like to ask them what they want to do. What is their dream job? And often dream jobs may not necessarily be exactly what might happen, but you can find, something in between. So like if somebody says, I want to be a doctor, and if that may or may not be possible, you really dig into being like, what is it about being a doctor that's really what you want to do? And it ends up being like they just want to wear like the wide lab coat and kind of interact with people. Then you can figure out, okay, well, maybe not, it's not the doctor part, but it's more the interaction. So maybe you could be the person that signs in the patients, right? So really digging into what it is that they really want to do and how they want it to happen. So that's really
And
great.
those plans take many iterations, right?
Exactly,
I mean, how many of us are doing what we planned when we were children?
Totally.
Not exactly. I'm not Shakira as I planned. So,
Yeah. And
There's
a lot
that.
of them want to be, things that they see that are obvious, police officer, fireman, doctor, nurse, whatever, places where they go a lot and see kind of the, fancy people and the cool jobs. But bringing it to a realistic level and talking about it like throughout the lifespan, not just when they're 18 and need a job tomorrow. So
very, very important. Yeah. So in your position as, running this program, have you found that many employers are looking to hire inclusively, or has that process been really difficult?
it seems so far that they are interested in hire inclusively. I think the barrier is the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, if you don't know somebody with Down syndrome, or you're, not sure of, how to support somebody, it can be very daunting to undergo that. And especially, if it's a busy company, and sometimes people just always don't have or don't make the time for stuff like that. So I don't think it's necessarily they're not interested in hiring inclusively. I think it's the lack of support that they may feel. And we even had like the first person who I got a job for, that business actually reached out to me, and they wanted to hire inclusively. So, there are places out there that are willing to do that.
Yeah.
But I think what's more challenging would be finding, like kind of like you said before, Hannah, finding the right fit for the client. You don't just want to stick somebody as a cleaner at Safeway because that's the position available.
Yeah.
If, they really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Or if they, they want to be in the restaurant industry or whatever. So it's more finding those proper employment fits for each person.
Yeah.
Just like how we all, got a job that fits us well.
Yeah. Something that they find meaningful. Right?
Yeah. Meaningful work is the goal.
Amazing. So kind of going off that, what are your top things that employers need to know when they hire someone as fabulous as Jason, someone with Down syndrome?
First things first, be prepared to have a lot of fun. Because our population is awesome. But another thing to think about is that accommodations in the workplace, like the use of visuals or timers, Jay can tell us about that a little bit later, but stuff like that, large font on things, labels on, different size coffee pots. It's, it takes a little bit to set that stuff up, but once that's in place, it benefits everybody. It's not, no one's going to come in and, not like the visual that's been put up for somebody else. It helps everybody, and it really is also really good for new employees that come through the business. It often takes down a lot of work that you need to do for training and all that. So just to, it can be a bit daunting to undertake, but that accommodations are there and they will help everybody. So yeah, be prepared to set those up using visuals, and just being patient too, because sometimes, it can take our guys a little bit longer to learn something, but once they've mastered it, they'll be the best at it. So.
Love that. And I think I'm so happy that you mentioned the idea that if you're setting something up for our individuals with Down syndrome, it's not going to make the job difficult for anybody else. If anything, it'll enhance everyone else's productivity, perhaps. And I know that when we interviewed Mark Wafer, who's an inclusive employer, probably season 1, I think. I don't know, I can't even remember. But he was also saying that it's good for business to hire people with diverse abilities. So I think it's fantastic that you're kind of reaching out and helping them understand that. What is your advice for families who are nervous about their loved one or child entering the workforce? Because it is a big transition and a big responsibility.
Yeah. My advice would really be try not to be. Trying new things can be intimidating, but often if you talk to any of our guys who've graduated, anybody, all of our students, they're really keen to enter the workforce. They're very excited. They're very motivated. A lot of them really want a job, even though if they may not know what exactly that means or under what capacity, but, so trying to foster that excitement, and, having the confidence that your child will succeed. I think that is huge. And it's an opportunity to like try new things, for them to make new friends and being independent. And a lot of our, students who've graduated and, many individuals with Down syndrome, independence is something that they strive for. And so just, knowing that they're excited, is, you should really just try to foster that and be engaged with, their excitement.
Yeah. Love that. Right.
All right, Jason, we're coming over to you. First, can you tell us about your job?
My job is about something with technique and speed, and sometimes I do clean bone saws sometimes, and some kebabs and parsley, and do all the things that. And one of my boss said something to me like, I want to do that certain way to do it. And I will listen. Or if I don't listen, just do it.
Yep.
right?
So you had to learn a lot of techniques,
Yeah.
it sounds like, to be able to do all the different kinds of meat preparation that you have to do for the
Yeah.
market, right? And so it sounds like you also spend a lot of time talking with your boss about the right way to
Yeah.
do things and get things done. That's pretty cool. Do you work every day at Meridian Meat Market? What does that look like for you?
As they work like in 2 days, like I work on Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay, awesome.
And I think I need more hours
Mhm.
for me.
Mhm.
It's going to take a 1 hour break
Mhm.
or like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Depending on how long your shift is.
yeah.
Did I understand what you were saying, that you like it so much you would do more hours?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Hmm. That's a good sign if you like your job that much. That's excellent.
Yep.
Can you tell me about what Asia does with you? What do you guys do together?
And together we would discuss something like example, like as I make a to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture on it, and while if my boss is not there,
Oh, okay.
and when I do that, it's so easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
So Asia helped you make a list of the jobs, the tasks at work
yes,
with pictures so that you can be independent.
yeah,
So when your boss isn't there, you still know what to do and
Yeah.
you can do your whole job.
and
That's
do a
pretty
whole
great.
job.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
mhm.
Asia said something about timers. Can you tell me about what the timer is for?
And a timer for the speed,
Okay.
Mm.
and sometimes I take a little bit slow pace. It's a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
What if, like example, I do some dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do things pretty fast,
Mm-hmm.
and I very enjoying that
Mm-hmm.
very much.
Excellent. So there are some times to be faster and sometimes to be slower, depending on what the job is,
Yeah.
right? Because we don't want to cut ourselves, I guess, with any of the
Yeah.
sharp stuff. But sometimes you can go fast.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
sometimes I put myself too, like while I do some skewers.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
skewers.
Yeah.
I know that
That's
would
tricky
freak
business.
me out.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, sometimes the skewers and to skin my fingers sometimes,
Yeah.
or blood,
Oh man.
or maybe while I do, they have first aid kit.
Yeah,
there.
first aid kit.
And we use band-aids and yeah, I don't say this, but at work
Mm-hmm.
and have something to cover up
Yep.
and just put some skewers on.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
so
like health and safety
Yeah.
stuff, right? With the first aid kit, if you
Yes.
need it.
Yeah,
Right. And when Asia makes the visuals, so the list of things
Yeah.
to do you find that helps your day?
yeah, to help my day is so easier, like almost every single time.
Well, perfect. Good job, Asia.
Thank you.
That's what we want to hear. Jason, is this the first job that you ever applied for?
No, actually I work in called landscaping,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm.
the same area,
Yep.
and I do some weeds,
Mm-hmm.
and they are and they help for community at Frosten,
Yep.
like and pick up some litter, garbage,
Yep.
or pull the weeds out.
Yep. So you had an outside job before,
Yeah.
working on some weeding and garbage and
Yeah,
things.
and it's for summer job,
Mm-hmm. Oh
and
yeah.
and they coming back for to be a team leader.
Excellent.
Wow.
That's good. You got promoted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Great. Jason, what is your favorite thing about your job?
Favorite thing?
Mm-hmm.
Dishes.
Oh,
Dishes.
Yeah.
You like doing dishes, huh?
Yeah, the most.
Why do you like doing dishes?
Because while nice and warm water, I put my
Oh,
hands
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun, relaxing
Yeah.
experience
And
for you to do
then put nice AC there while
Oh.
it's hot.
Uh-huh.
And have a nice cool there. Have
Oh, okay.
freezer and fridge.
Mhm.
Go in. It feels nice.
So it kind of
Great.
sounds like you like the structure too, right?
Yes,
There's like
I
a
do,
very
yeah.
clear what I need to do and where it needs to go. So it kind of helps you finish your job
Yeah.
easily.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like washing dishes too, actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Tell me about it's well, I like to do it like you. I also like that it's cool or warm water depending on the season. But I like to clean things. So that's what I like about washing
Yeah.
dishes. I like something dirty that turns into clean and it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you? Does it make you feel better when you
Yeah, I feel
see-
better. And then sometimes at work, I do a very deep clean.
Oh, okay.
Like almost all apartment.
Yep.
Now I do that too.
The whole
And-
department.
And sometimes like one customer just came behind me,
Yeah.
and I was supposed to, but I just help her out and I get some
Oh.
food.
Wow. So you're
And-
multitasking.
Yeah, and I kind of like that, but and I was supposed to.
Oh.
Yeah, but I did it anyways. Not just let it slide.
Yeah. Well, you learn, right?
Yeah, but I learned.
Yeah, you learned. Great. Jason, what advice would you give somebody else with Down syndrome about getting a job?
First, like all different ages and can do again job. Like what if you be like 60, 70,
Okay.
or maybe like young like me, or like age plus age, and
Are you calling
Thanks,
Asia
Jay.
old?
but I never say that
Older.
part. like all different age.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one piece of advice would be that you could start working at age 16 or 17, or if
Yeah.
you're older.
Yeah, when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else would you tell them about work? Is it like hard? Do you learn things? What kind of other things would you say?
Yeah, for like then work, like you better accept the feedback with your
Yeah.
boss and say to you,
Mm-hmm.
and while work there, like you better earn your respect there.
Oh, and you
Solid
earn your
advice,
respect.
man.
That is very good
Yeah.
advice. So yeah, so you listen to your manager, use the feedback, get better.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
keep more practicing, like
Yeah.
while you used to do that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and do something like that.
Keep great.
Until
Yeah.
you're used to it.
I like
right?
that. I like that you said that then you earn respect, right? Because you're working hard and listening and getting better.
Yeah,
That is fantastic advice.
Mhm. And I agree with what you said that every new job takes practice.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And you will learn it and you just
Yeah.
have to keep practicing. That's a great piece of
Yeah,
advice.
it's kind of like same thing with all different jobs.
Yeah.
With boss, like example like DSRF,
Mhm.
or in US, Vancouver, the States, like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
The rule applies everywhere. I think you're absolutely right. Do you really love your job?
that's what I do.
Are you very happy there?
Well, to be honest, maybe.
Surprise me.
Well, we all have our days, right? Some days a job is easier. Some days it's a little harder.
Yeah.
But it is, like you said,
Yeah,
a learning process.
But I learned about my dream.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you love your team. Great. I love
My
that.
dream, or
your-
I like the coworkers there too.
Dream team.
Dream team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah, we have a dream team at DSRF,
Yeah.
so I could see what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like it. I like they give me some money and I have money to save up something.
Yeah. Save up some of your money.
Yeah, or with a little bit carried away, like a press of wedding stuff. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. That's awesome. I love that you have a plan. Lots of plans. Well, we would love to thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing your
You're welcome.
experience. I think it's going to help a lot of families and a lot of other young people with Down syndrome, get excited about looking for work and for getting a job. So, and we want to thank Aja for joining us. Thank you so much. We're so excited to see where this program goes. Kind of seeing it firsthand, Marla and I, as we work with Aja, she's doing a fantastic job, and it's great to see that meaningful employment thing happening and our adults just loving what they do. So thank you for sharing with us as well. And, all right.
Thanks for
having me.
filling the gap. 'cause
Thanks
it's
for
a big
filling the
to
gap.
fill.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.